Morning. I'm here with Inga Pylypchuk, the director of Teen Angst, whose film will be screening in the EU Film Festival, Europe's Moving Images. This year, the theme is democracy, community, and space aliens. And I'm really happy to be here with you, Inga, and have this opportunity to have a conversation with you. So.
Good morning, and thank you for this invitation, Randall.
Your film, it's interesting. Your film is entitled Teen Angst, Anxiety, but we selected your film precisely because it offers a positive vision of the resilience of the people of Ukraine. And so, even in the midst of all the struggle, the film shows the dreams and aspirations of Ukrainian youth. Could you talk to us a little bit about how the film came together for you as a project?
Yes, Teen Angst was also a name of the project behind the film. And I have to say here, our first idea was to make an educational project, a social project, and then a film project. For me as a director, for sure, the film part in it was also very important from the beginning. But it was designed also as a project where Ukrainian youth could learn something. And I was invited to participate in this by my friends and colleagues from Platform 2 in Mariupol,
Ah, yeah.
now in exile in Kyiv, but originally from Mariupol, Ukraine. And it was a very special place before the full-scale invasion. So, Platforma 2 is a cultural organization. It was an art space, and it was founded after Russia began the military operation and the war in Donbass, and after the annexation of Crimea. This culture center was also kind of statement against the occupation, but also for democracy, for freedom. And they did a lot of work with youth.
Mm.
So after the full-scale invasion, when they had to flee to Kyiv,
Mm.
and some other members of this collective and organization also to other countries, they thought, what could we do from other cities when we're not in Mariupol, but maybe working with the displaced youth. And they came up with this idea to make an online project.
I see.
And also having this experience after the pandemic that is
Right.
possible. But still, it was very experimental.
Right.
So they wanted, to have this online workshop and invited me to lead this process and to make a kind of course
I
for
see.
young people about how to make documentaries. And why Teen Angst? It was just an initial idea in the very beginning to give the space for
Hmm.
all this heavy stuff teenagers are going through, and
Every
not
teen, right? Mhm.
necessarily like only war related,
Right.
right? It is just a very
Universal
turbulent
for teenagers,
time
right?
in the life of a person. And for sure, in Ukraine, or also for Ukrainian people abroad, even more harder than for people who live,
Right.
in peaceful circumstances. Yes, so this was the initial idea, but it turned out, how you say, that still there is a lot of hope, and youth is also this time where when it's so naturally like to have dreams for your life. And yeah, for me also it was a very empowering process, and not, yeah, only
So
scary.
it's interesting what you're describing because the film project itself, I'd be interested in knowing a little bit of how that came to, I mean, you describe how it comes together, but you have a certain kind of desktop film that we are familiar with from the COVID period, but it opens up and often into just lovely camera work. And there are signs that the protagonists of your film, the nine young women, are also working with a crew and with someone doing good camera, or they've learned how to do good camera that brings out their creativity. Can you say something about how the actual filming conditions worked? Because I think it was brilliant as a sort of documentarists are always on a small budget, but you seem to have negotiated budget and capabilities very well. Can you?
Yeah, thank you. It's very good to hear that it looks this way because the idea of Teen Angst was that every person, every participant films herself. So they were all doing their camera work alone or with the help
Okay.
with their relatives, friends. And I was helping in the development of these ideas and for sure also assisting how would be the better way to film this or other event or maybe a topic, how to come closer to this. So we met online every week for like around
Okay.
3 hours every Saturday. So it was really a commitment. Not every person in the age of 16 or
Right.
17, 19 years old would do that. So we had really motivated group and they applied for this participation. So they really
Okay.
wanted to be a part of it. And then we had different exercises. We talked about our ideas. And then they also got tasks. So they were filming themselves, like at
Interesting.
first experimenting, and then some more precise dialogues, for example, or situations. And then we also had personal consultations. So we had chats and Zoom calls, and then in the end, they delivered all footage. They were able to shoot, and I was working with a professional editor, Margarita Hasanova. She's also Ukrainian and lives in Germany. And we made this mosaic of different episodes and yeah, different styles. So this was kind of intended that each of them experiments and finds out the
Right.
style of like what her episode should like. And my task, as I understood it for myself, was to give them freedom to really express themselves what they wanted to show.
I think you really captured that. I think that's really an aspect of it. It opens up in this way. Each of them opens up. I appreciate that description because that's certainly how I experienced it. So it's been traveling. Can you talk a little bit about the reception now? We discussed that it had premiered in Romania, it had screened in Ukraine. Can you talk a little bit about where it's going, what those screenings were like so far?
Yes, sure. Um, at first, I have to say, Teen Angst is a Ukrainian German project. We also had a German organization partner in Berlin, Bridgeworks. So it's
Thank you, Bridgeworth.
connected
Mhm.
also for sure, we also have three participants, right? From their Ukrainian girls, but they live in Germany, in Berlin, in Potsdam, and in Neuss, close to Düsseldorf.
Hello. Düsseldorf.
So it is a mixed portrait of this generation, I would say. And that's why there were also quite a lot of our screenings were in Germany.
Mhm.
We were, for example, at a youth festival, Docs Ruhr. It's in the area from where one of our protagonists and co-authors also comes from. In Stuttgart also, and in Berlin, we had a couple of screenings. And in Ukraine, we also premiered in June at Mykolaichuk Open Film Festival. And our international premiere was in Bucharest, in Romania. And we also were invited to Romania again to Sibiu,
Okay.
to
Yeah.
Astra Film Festival.
Very
And then
nice.
Astra Film Festival took our film also to Moldova, to
Okay.
Chisinau. Yes, and there were also screenings in Portugal in four cities and in Austria. And in Canada. It was our North American premiere at Female Eye.
But we're the US premiere.
Yes. So this is really great that we finally are now also in the US. Yeah.
I'm happy about that. What's the do you have context still with the nine protagonists? It's you got embedded in their stories in many ways, and so I'm sure that you have contact with them still, especially after what you described. What do you hear from them?
Yes. Actually, the best thing about this project is for me that we became a kind of a community. So we try to get in touch. Some of our girls became also friends and they visit each
Oh, interesting.
other. And also, thanks to these screenings, we
Mm.
meet again, like
There we go.
not all together. We all together met in Cottbus in Germany, where we had our premiere in 2024. Since then, we're just meeting each other, like three of us or four of us
Very
in
good.
like smaller groups, but still, it is always, it just feels very good to connect. Yeah, and what I hear from them are different stories. Like some of them are very encouraging. For example, Sophia, who in the film is renovating her flat and
Right.
sharing her very fresh experiences with being a refugee in Germany. Is now, I would say, in a much better condition. She studies at the university, and what she shared with me and also with audience when we had our screenings is that she feels like more safe in Germany now, and yeah, it's really good to hear. At the same time, I'm very much worried about my Ukrainian part of the team who are still in Ukraine. And for example, I know that Nastya from Kharkiv, you saw in the film, she's in this episode where she also, well, she's applying a tourniquet to stop the bleeding. So, like, she shows how to do it. So she's like with 19 years old, already a tactical medic, and gives courses to other people. And she told me that she wants to go to the front line, that she wants to join the army. Yeah, so
Reality.
we have all kinds of stories, and our realities are also very different. And right now, it is a very hard situation in Ukraine. Actually, it's very frustrating because it's getting even worse and worse. And also, what I hear from our partners, from Diana Berg from Platforma 2, who was the initiator of the project. She is now in Kiev, and yeah, it is very cold, and a lot of people don't have heating and light, and it is a really hard winter.
Yeah, the Russians have definitely been hitting the infrastructure to make people lose faith and be demoralized. Um, we can only hope that this will come to an end soon. So before we close, though, uh, there might be things that you want an American audience in particular to know. Something that you just said about the struggle that's going on and the difficulties and the transformations in people's lives. Is there something from the film that you would like to carry forward or any kind of message you want for your American audience?
Yes, not to lose faith and to support Ukraine, because Ukrainians don't lose faith, and we really like the US is a big partner for us still, it has been for a long period of time. And even though we experience a lot of political turbulency and not always like feel this support. I just wish that we have this bridge and we feel this support. And yeah, if we all believe in the idea of democracy, that it will also win one day.
I like that, Slava Ukrainia. We have a
You're
good
welcome.
community here, and we keep you, you and all of Ukraine and all the Ukrainians in our heart and in our thoughts. So thank you, Inga.
Thank you very much. Let's hope.